Hello everyone, welcome back. As you can see, I'm playing the DmC demo again. I'm doing it on Son of Sparda. What I'm going to be doing this time are combos and like tips and stuff like that. The first one I'm going to show is something small, but as you can see here, it shows you all the attacks you can do. But what it doesn't show are some of the attacks that you can do, but are not on here. For example, is the see if you go over Ebony and Ivory in here, it just says shoot, but you can also do the inverse rainstorm, the rainstorm, and the ricochet. But it doesn't tell you it doesn't tell you can do those for some reason. Same thing with Rebellion. It doesn't tell you can use drive, but you can use that as well. I'm not sure why they did that, but for some reason they did. So I'm gonna go and get into this now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play every fight section twice, just so I can get the most amount of combat shown. There's a very good thing to do. It is the Demon Evade. What it does is it makes your attacks do more damage. And not only that, but it makes your style rating go up faster. Oh, just got hit there. I'm going to try to show as much jump canceling as possible. That's actually really good if you use it on crowds, the Rainstorm, because unlike the other game, it actually raises your style rating, and not only that, but it raises it by a pretty good amount. So if you use it, you can actually get up to a whole other letter rank. So I'll show you right here. Oh, that guy hit me. You use the inverse Rainstorm to hold them there, then you come back down with the Rainstorm. As you saw there, it brought me from a D to a C rating. One thing I noticed about jump canceling is it's a little bit easier to actually pull off the cancel itself by jumping. But what's hard is having to time it with the attack that you're doing. Got a really nice parry there. I wasn't even planning on that. Something else I noticed is that these enemies, when they hold up their sword as a shield, you can either use a demon attack to break that shield, or you can use your guns to break it. These guys are kind of annoying. They're the ones that can only be hit by demon attacks. The thing that I like doing on them is pulling them close, like knocking them up in the air. Oh, I have to get away now. You knock them up in the air like that. Do a 3-hit combo here. Then when they go flying away, you throw the axe head at them. And yeah, basically just repeat that until they're dead. These guys are one of the most annoying enemies in the demo. The most annoying are the other flying ones. They're actually pretty easy to kill those. You saw there you can use a two-hit attack followed by Helm Breaker, and that'll actually kill them. So the best thing to do is where'd the other one go? Oh, there he is. He kind of came to me. The best thing to do is pull off your shield like that. Use the Angel Lift to pull yourself close to them. Do a 2-hit combo and slam down. I already had that one damaged, so it didn't do anything. I was trying to parry that. As you saw, I failed. As I showed in my last video, I'll show you when he charges up. See, if I use that, he doesn't go flying in the air when he's in his enraged mode. And if you hit him in his enraged mode, nothing happens. And what I figured out is if you charge this up to the 2nd level while he's raged, it actually will bring him up in the air like that. So a lot of things in this game you'll discover by just doing something on accident. I was trying to pull off a Demon Evade there, but failed miserably. I'll go ahead and stop it right there and restart from the checkpoint. As I mentioned, I'm going to be doing each fight section twice, and there are 4 in this demo. There's the one right here. There's the next section. There's the next section around the fountain, where you fight 2 chainsaw guys, 3 of those little stingers, and then you fight 2 of the new enemy variants. They're new to Son of Sparda. They're not in the other difficulty. Get a little ricochet action here. What I'll do is I'll knock him up in the air first. It's kind of hard to do. You have to hold down X like you would in the previous DMCs for the charged attack. Yeah, well, I didn't knock him in the air, but yeah, you basically see the effect there. It bounces off everyone. Another perfect demon evade there. One of my personal favorite combos to do is use the trillion stab. Alright, I can't use it there. I already killed him. But one of my favorite combos to use in this game, mainly because it looks cool and it accomplishes what you're trying to do. If I can actually pull it off here. So you do the trillion stab and you follow it up by the high time attack. And what that does, it basically just breaks their guard and holds them there, and then you use the high time to bring them up in the air, which, as you would imagine, is a good thing to do. You can also do dodges in mid-air. I know that you can do the normal dodge in mid-air like that. That was actually pretty nice. I knocked all of them up. This game does have a focus on aerial combat, but you can fight on the ground just as much as you do in the air. The one perk to the air is that a lot of enemies can't touch you. So once you're up there, you're pretty much invincible to everything on the ground. But there are certain enemies, especially on the higher difficulties, that will they'll either attack you from the ground, or they'll be air enemies that will obviously attack you from the air. So that makes it a little harder to pull off air combos. But mainly the best thing to do is just knock them up in the air, kind of like that right there. And just follow up and just keep attacking them. Because as you can see right now, he can't do anything. Pretty nice stationary air evade there. Now that he's down, I'm going to focus on these little guys. Another good tip to do is use the ricochet on air enemies. As you can see, it juggles them in place and actually did a very good amount of damage there and killed those two. So yeah, there's a new tip that I just learned right now. When they're in the air, rip off their shields and then use the ricochet on those little guys. Because as you saw, it's very effective. I'm not sure if they're going to have an easy automatic mode in this game like they did in the other ones, where the charge shots will charge automatically. But if you're not into holding down the button, I'm sure there will be a mode for that. So personally, I like playing this game on manual. This one doesn't have an option, but on the other DMCs, I always like playing on manual. Mainly because it would sometimes do combos that you probably didn't want to do. So you have full control over it if you don't choose automatic. Oh, but as I was saying about the dodges, I'll show you up here after I destroy this demon shard, or demonic shard, whatever it's called. You can do one of two things. You can either shoot it until it destroys, or you can evade, and you get points for evading, you don't for destroying it. Here's what I was going to show you. You have these types of evades. You can evade stationarily, where it gives you that window of invincibility. You can evade back, forward, left, and then right. And you can also do a angel evade in midair. I'm not sure if the same applies for the demon evade. I haven't tried it, but I will try that right up here, see if it works. Whenever that little guy tries to attack me. Alright, it didn't look like I did it at the right time, so I'll give it another shot. Yeah, I did that one pretty much perfectly, and it still didn't give me. I don't think you can do it in here. I'm doing a horrible showing of skill right here. And I died. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but I will definitely start doing better now. Oh. Alright, I'll start doing better now. Doing my same combo on those guys. Yeah, I was trying to go for a charge shot there. When I restart the checkpoint, I will definitely be doing better. Next time I'm going to go straight for that little guy. The inverse rainstorm is a great way to take enemies into the air. I got him before he could hit me. These are the new enemy types that I was talking about. I had a lot of strategies for taking them down. I actually deflected that crossbow. That was very lucky. But I had a few strategies of excuse me there. I had a few strategies of taking them down in the other videos. What I would do in some of them is I would... This guy doesn't have a shield, that's lucky. What I would do in some of them is I would shoot them, and then demon pull them down, and then do a helm breaker to pull them to the ground. What I've started to do is just air dash straight at them and knock them out of the sky. It seems like the quickest and easiest way to get to them. Ah, I forgot to use Devil Trigger. I'm just going to use that briefly now. Alright, that was a very good showing of Devil Trigger. Now I'm going to restart at the checkpoint, restart that fight over again. First thing I'm going to do here is go for this guy in the back. And I missed. There we go. Now with him gone, I'll be able to focus on these two. These guys aren't the Angel exclusive. As you can see, I'm hitting them with different weapons, like the Angel and Demon, and then the standard human weapons, which is Rebellion. So they're not exclusively Angel enemies, but since they have a shade of blue on them, and since a charged up Osiris attack is the only thing that brings them up in the air, I'm assuming that these are enemies that you are supposed to use the Angel on, but you can or cannot use it if you want to. So it gives you the option. If you want to kill them faster, you can use the Angel attacks. You can do pretty much whatever you want. They don't force you to use Angel weapons like the other enemies. It's kind of like the enemies that have the shields. You don't have to use demon weapons on them, but it's the preferred thing to do. Yeah, I do not waste time with those little guys. They are very annoying. Use the Devil Trigger so I can get them all together. I was trying to cancel it there, but I guess I couldn't get the button pressers down. One thing that I did that would probably help you out as well is the camera snap is normally on the right stick. What I did is I changed the camera snap onto my left stick because that you're always pressing that whenever you're attacking and stuff like that. So it's a little better for me because I rarely ever press the right stick unless the camera doesn't auto lock onto them and I manually move around to look at them. So I just added the camera snap, which is this thing where it instantly snaps to wherever direction you're looking. It seemed like it's a little quicker that way. I almost knocked myself down to that pit. You can actually use that pit down there to get environmental kills.
There you are.
Here I am.
Which varies on different levels. The environmental kill can mean anything.
The walls.
Because there's one that, like on this map, on this mission, the only thing you can do is knock them off ledges. But on the other levels, there's one with a carousel spinning around, and you can knock enemies up into that and it'll kill them. And then there's another level with a train going across the ceiling, because the world's upside down. And there's a train going across the ceiling, and you can knock them up in the air to hit the train. So there's a lot of stuff like that that's not featured in the demo. That'll be in the full game. It's the Shredder attack. It's not one I use very often, but as you can see, it's very useful to use. Here it summons one of these guys. I actually used my parry on him, and that knocked his ice blast back at him.